Hi, Srinivas, who used to run this show for a long time, always said we shouldn't punish those who came here on time, those who are late. So let's start. Good afternoon, I am Diwakar. Oh, we're not in a classroom. We're not in a classroom. So I am Diwakar, manager at AHUB, Andhra University's Incubation Council. Welcome to Startup Saturdays, a forum for innovators, entrepreneurs, investors, and other startup enthusiasts. This forum is organized by AHUB and our partners. AHUB is an independent Section 8 company constituted within Andhra University. AHUB has two-part mission. We have a two-part mission. One, it is a regular incubator with all the usual support services of any incubator. Two, it also leads the institution's Innovation Council of Andhra University. In its second role, AHUB promotes and encourages innovation and entrepreneurship among students and faculty on campus and internationally. Before we begin, I'd like to ask everyone to introduce yourselves. Quick introductions, just name your affiliation.
Professor Raju, Chemical Engineering Department, Andhra University.
Thank you.
I am Professor Bhanu, Professor in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Gayatri Vijay Prashad Kaur.
I am Vital Kumar. I am a corporate legal consultant. I've been giving some sessions also.
Yes, you're a mentor, you're a resource person for us, and you presented here a couple of times. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Hello, hi, this is Naveen. I'm a owner of SRK and SF Transportation.
Saran Sar Kumar, Director Engineering, 4th year.
Hi, sir, this is Tirumalesh, MC student from Dr. Anpali Gulay College.
We don't call each other sir here. You're not addressing me, you're addressing the entire group. You're introducing yourself to others.
My name is Harshavardhini and I'm currently in second year. So this is Sharon from Gulay College. So yeah, representing.
So this is Rajendra. I'm from Gulay College from MCA 6.
I'm Pranavendra from AU North Campus, BTech.
Here, B. Achilles sir from ECU Department AU.
Hello everyone, this is Vinod Kumar from School of International Business.
Hi everyone, I am Pranav, AU CSC 4th year.
Hi everyone, myself Ramtes, AU Tribly 4th year.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jarita. I am studying in AU MBA Sex First year.
Hello everyone, this is Shivani. I'm working as content strategist and intern at AHUB.
Or we're introducing him in a short time. Okay. Thank you all. You want to give walked in introduction? Thank you for coming. Can you please quickly introduce yourself, your name and your affiliation? Oh, Ravi keeps talking about you. Right. Welcome everyone. A warm welcome to all the speakers, guests and attendees. Thank you for joining us today. The room might seem a little empty, but it is Indian stretchable time that we follow. So we keep stretching 4 o'clock till 4:30. So people keep walking in. So this forum's purpose is to establish and build an integrated ecosystem with a variety of supports for entrepreneurs. It is open to everyone and we hope you will take full advantage of it by participating and contributing. If you're wondering what can and does happen in these sessions, here is a brief outline. Show Me the Money is our first segment. This is a segment where Charita, our intern, our grants management intern, presents details about one grant and provides dates and few details of few other sources of money. Today we have a little overall picture she is presenting. The second segment of this session is technical talk. Each session has a different topic, bringing in experts, sharing their experience and expertise. Then we go into pitching your startup. If there are any startups in the audience who would like to pitch their startup, this would be a good time to send your presentations to Pranav here. So the more you pitch, the better it gets. So please keep taking this opportunity and pitch as many times as you can if you're a startup. Then we have idea pitches. Slots for idea pitches are always available. You have an idea, please go ahead and share it. It only can get better. If you share it, it gets better because you get feedback and you will refine the idea. Then we have open mic. If someone feels inspired and wants to share an idea, this is the place to share and get some feedback. Any thoughts are also welcome. So if you have any announcements you want to make about whatever that is you're doing, that would be a good time to do that. So we put in the effort to organize these and we are having fun. The more you engage, the more you derive. So if you come here now, this is the first time, please come back. One session is not going to give you a full picture of what Startup Saturdays is all about. So please come back, tell your friends, bring them along. Here are a few basic rules before we commence the meeting. Kindly put your mobile phones on silent mode. Please refrain from entering or exiting the session while a speaker is delivering their presentation. Please wait until the speaker concludes their session. Please refrain from crosstalk or side conversations. It is distracting. If you are pitching today and have a presentation, this is the time to send it to Pranav. We run a tight program. Kindly note that a pitch is allotted a maximum time of 10 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes to present and 3 to 4 minutes for Q&A. We kindly ask all presenters to adhere to the allocated time to ensure a smooth flow of the event. We request the audience to reserve your questions for the designated Q&A period, but if the speaker is engaging you in a Q&A session during their talk, please follow their lead. Now we have Show Me the Money, which is a segment we do. Charita is here with a short presentation on the funding landscape of startups, for startups and innovators in India. This segment is evolving and we plan to dig a little deeper going forward. We are sort of hitting the reset button today. So far we did one fund and we continue to do that. We are hitting the reset button. We'll go to the start with which Charita will be taking us through a lot of details about different types of funding that's available for startups. Charita?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Charita. I'm an intern at our hub, and today I'm going to discuss about a comprehensive overview of funding sources available to startups in India. India is one of the fastest growing startup ecosystem in the world, with over 60,000 startups which are recognized by the government of India. So the government of India has always been very supportive of the various startups, and it has launched a lot of initiatives like Startup India and Make in India, which provide funding, mentorship and also support in terms of legal and regulatory regulations to foster a very helpful environment. So, and now, why is funding important? So getting the right funding is very important for any startup because good funding, on one hand, good funding helps enable growth, provides resources and also fosters innovation. But, and on the other hand, a bad funding creates financial pressure and also misaligns your goals. And the good funding also gives you a competitive edge where you can be better than your competitors. So now, there are multiple sources of funding for startups in India. So one of the closest and the easiest way to get money is bootstrapping. So bootstrapping is or self-financing means using your own personal savings and reinvesting profits so that you're not liable to anybody at the end of the day. So bootstrapping or self-financing is suitable for at IPO and pre-seed stages of your startup. So, and then there's closed network. Closed network is asking your friends, families and your personal contacts for money. So this is one of the most preferable options used by entrepreneurs because it has less formal process and less strict terms and conditions. It is also used in seed and early stages of startup. And then angel investors. Angel investors are those with high net worth who are interested to invest in your companies in exchange for some equity. They invest their own money and bring valuable insights to your company. This is preferable in seed and early stages of your startup. Crowdfunding is a platform which allows entrepreneurs to raise small amounts of money from a large number of people. Seed stages and early stages have preferred this type of funding. Incubators and accelerators are also designed to support startups through mentorship, resources, and sometimes funding. They usually focus on nurturing early stage companies over a longer period of time. Startups at seed and early stage prefer this type of funding. Coming to grants, grants are funds provided by governments, organizations, or foundations to small companies or startups with specific projects or social initiatives. Pre-stage to growth stages prefer this type of funding. And then venture capital. Venture capitals are funds or individuals that invest in high growth startups in exchange for equity. They look for scalable business with strong growth potential. Early to growth stages prefer this type of funding. And coming to bank loans provide a structured way of secure funding with a repayment plan and interest. They require a solid business plan, creditworthiness, and sometimes a collateral. All the startups which are in the growth stage prefer this for its steadiness. And then there is strategic partnerships where a smaller company collaborates with a bigger company for mutual benefit. This is used usually in early to growth stages. And companies sometimes also prefer freelancing, which is exchanging the services for money, which is a very solid way of funding because they don't need to repay anything. And in conclusion, India has a very diverse range of funding options, each tailored for different steps of growth and business needs. It is very important to choose your right funding mix because it plays a very crucial role in your startup's success and growth. If you have any questions, you can contact our team at our hub. Thank you.
Thank you, Charita. That was an introduction for the entire landscape, funding landscape for startups. We are resetting, like I said, we're resetting the button on this segment. From next week or next session onwards, we'll start digging into individual funds and individual opportunities, funding opportunities for startups. And startups doesn't mean just companies. Startups also mean we are targeting students, faculty, any innovator who's willing to run with an idea all the way to the market. That is what we're focusing on. So yes, there will be faculty research grants that can allow you towards commercialization. But we'll focus on those grants that will have a focus or that will insist on commercialization, not just research grants. That's what we'll push towards. Thank you, Charita. That was very good. So let's move on to our main part of today's session. Before I invite today's speaker, a few words about our featured session. If you're wondering how we pick our speakers for these technical sessions, here is a brief explanation. We focus at 4 levels to explore entrepreneurship and bring you the best of ideas and depth of understanding. We look at the individual, the company, the sector, and the ecosystem. Each level has a distinct set of challenges and opportunities, suitable set of skills and resources, and provides a level of understanding of entrepreneurship. If you're already an entrepreneur, these talks will help you understand the journey. If you're considering it or are just exploring, these talks will give you a great intro into the journey. Today we will focus on the sector. Another thing we're trying and you may have noticed is the connection between Startup Saturdays and our HackAP Hackathon series. Problem statements for our hackathons are derived from technical talks here. As you know, we are closing in on our bi-monthly HackAP Hackathon at the end of November. This time it is on electricity distribution. We tried to have Mr. Avinash fill in for Mr. Ishwar, who is the next speaker, who was traveling that day. Ishwar was traveling that day, so Avinash tried to fill in, but we had some health emergency and we had to cut that session short. He recovered and he's well and he's traveling today, so he can't be here. So now Ishwar is back, and he's sort of taking his slot and in a way filling in for Avinash. So a little musical chairs there. But now let's get to the next segment. Admittedly, I know very little about electricity distribution, so I won't say much about that. Mr. Ishwar, on the other hand, knows a lot. He is a results-oriented power and utilities expert with over 6 years of diverse experience, driving strategic growth, operational efficiency, and innovative solutions across the power and utilities landscape. Involved in strategy and operations, program management, policy formulation, regulatory affairs, and bid advisory services, delivering impactful outcomes for state and central governments, private clients, and pioneering initiatives in power distribution, electric vehicle infrastructure, and renewable energy. Let's welcome Mr. Ishwar.
Good afternoon. My name is Ishwar. I'm working as a senior consultant with KPMG. Currently, we are assisting AP EPDCL, one of the distribution companies in Andhra Pradesh, which caters power from Srikakulam to West Godavari districts. The couple of months back, we have started identifying problem statements which can be solved by youngsters or startup guys. Which APEPCL cannot go for a long big tender process and all. And so we have identified some problem statements, and we have launched that our hackathon platform. I'll be just before going through the problem statements, I'll be just taking you through the overview of power sector. So I think electrical engineers must know this, but just basic brief. So power will be generated generally from generating stations from state and central generating stations, majorly from thermal power plants, renewables, and non-conventional energy source, all these things. Then that power will be transmitted through transmission lines at higher voltages. Then those higher voltages will be stepped down and distributed to the public, industries, and other consumers through distribution companies. So in India, we have around 50 plus government distribution companies and some private distribution companies as well. So here in Andhra Pradesh, we have 3 distribution companies: AP EPDCL, Central Power Distribution Company in Vijayawada, and Southern Power Distribution Company in Tirupati. So electricity. In India, for our economic growth, we have several key strategic sectors which drives economic growth. But for those sectors' growth, electricity is the key pivotal role, because electricity is linked with the industry's growth, agriculture, and whatnot. If you take whatever the industry or sector, it requires electricity. So easing process of getting electricity or competitive price of getting electricity makes the other sectors growth and the overall Indian economic growth. So in India, per capita electricity consumption has been increasing since since last 2 decades, and there has been a significant policy and regulatory intervention by the government of India and state governments, which enabled major reforms towards electricity sector. I mean, this is a major policy and regulatory landscape happened since inception of major electricity reforms. So previously actually electricity generation sector was completely regulated by government. Later years it was given opportunity for private players to come in, and previously it was state electricity board used to be there, where GTD, generation transmission distribution, was unbundled. Thereafter electricity reforms, these GTD were bundled, and then we have AP Genco company, and then transmission, and for distribution we have different companies. So these are some stats. So coming to power distribution company, these are major activities being done by the executives there. So I mean, operations wherein power main operations, supplying power, and then substation operations, laying of lines, then troubleshooting faults, fault troubleshooting, and continuous power supply. All these things will be taken care by operations team, and the consumer services team takes care of consumer complaints and resolving, CCC customer call center service, all these things. And in distribution company, we will get power bills at our home or industries, whatever the load centers. That will be done by the billing and collections. And major projects team does the major projects, laying of lines, substations, all these things. And remaining human resource, finance, normal, business, regulatory. And IT team delivers major IT related aspects like maintaining website, AP based website and apps for consumers, as well as operation teams. So nowadays, compared to generation and transmission, distribution companies are facing a lot of turbulence and challenges in terms of financial health and operational this thing. State and central governments have been keen in improving their its financial and technical health, but still there is a lot of scope for incubators, startups who can take up the opportunities in the distribution companies areas of improvement. Few of the examples I have noted here. So one is AT&C losses, aggregate, technical and commercial losses. So power is fed from, so initially distribution companies purchase power from the generation stations and then distribute it to the various consumers like domestic, industrial and commercial users. So in between power purchase and distribution, there will be aggregate, technical and commercial losses. Technical losses, as you know, transmission and distribution losses, and commercial losses comes to theft, billing and collection losses. So in this, startups have a lot of scope in theft detection and then using data analysis and all. And billing and collection efficiency, there is a scope for improvement of billing and collection efficiency as well. And then coming to RE integration, as we know, we have nationally determined contributions for the, as per Paris Agreement, we have India has targets for renewable integration. So currently, as prosumers, what we'll say is solar rooftop consumers, households and other industrial or commercial consumers who are setting up solar rooftops. So they are producing power as well as consuming power. So they call it as prosumers. So startups have a lot of opportunity for the installing, acting as an EPC contractor for the solar rooftops and aggregating the solar. If you can take an example. In suppose take Vizag, people who are interested to set up solar rooftops on their roofs, but they don't have roof space because they are maybe staying in community buildings or maybe less constrained locations. So, but they have some space over somewhere in their own village or somewhere. So, startup major opportunities. One can aggregate such vacant places relevant to the particular segment in the city, and then they can set up solar rooftop there, and then through virtual net metering they can supply to the consumers sitting in the city or whatever. So this type of community-based solar rooftop system-based business model is one of the new which can be pursued by startups, as well as energy storage as a service. Now renewables penetration is increasing, wherein requirement of energy storage is required because solar or wind, so they are intermittent in nature. So in the morning time solar will be there, but when it comes to night time it won't be there. So that time, so solar plus battery or any storage, pumped storage or whatever. So solar plus battery, an integrated solution can solve the grid unbalanced situations. So for that, battery is storage. So wherein utility scale battery storage is emerging as a great solution nowadays. So which will help in aiding the solar generation, as well as when you install grid level battery storage, it will also help in capex for the transmission distribution. So it will just postpone the requirement of transmission system augmentation. Then power purchase optimization. So annually, if you take AP EPDCL, they purchase 25,000 million units plus power from the generators. So these power purchase is being done through long-term, medium-term, and short-term power procurement PPAs. So long-term PPAs and medium-term PPAs are certainty. They have certainty because it will be entered for long durations like 12 years, 25 years, like that. So, but when it comes to actual loads, suppose they generally what they do is planning is being done for medium-term, short-term, and then long-term. So for next year power requirement, they assess the power requirement. Then accordingly they procure the power or they enter into the agreement. But when it comes to the actual thing, load fluctuations happen because there will be some sudden increment in the load due to some festival or some cricket match or whatever it will be. So load variations will be there between anticipated power demand and then actual demand. So for that, if the already entered PPA generators are not available, they have to purchase it from the power exchanges, or they have to rely on the demand DSM mechanism. So in that cases, they have to procure power from the high rate generators or from the exchanges. So this will increase the power purchase cost of DISCOMs, which will eventually will be transferred to the consumers, will be collected from the consumers. So there is a huge opportunity for the startups to optimize the power purchase cost through AML algorithms. They can develop a optimization engine based on the historical weather data and whatever the events happened in last like 10 years. Suppose in November generally, in summer season generally, cricket match happens, IPL, or some list of events occurred in the last 10 years. They can collect that, can be given as input to the algorithm engine, as well as weather data. All these things, there will be multiple parameters that can be given as input to the this optimization engine, which can give us the proper output for the better forecasting. So that is one of the opportunity. Then in the operation side, breakdowns and power interruptions. So DISCOMs are old age, they have old age infrastructure, wherein currently there is not sufficient predictive or preventive maintenance for the asset. So maybe IoT devices using IoT devices which can monitor the health of DTS, distribution transformers or power transformers or lines. This can help DISCOM very much. So that can be a potential solution. Then coming to consumer centricity, we have one customer call center, but currently it is operating as in conventional model only. If we can use some AI, ML tools which can enhance consumer satisfaction, that also helps. And cost control, project management generally. DISCOM undertakes installation of distribution lines, substations, all these things. Their cost control of project management and timely completion of the projects is required. Those can be that can be achieved by using some advanced tools, by proper monitoring of the project and all. And data analysis, it has a huge growth for the startups. Based on the consumption patterns of various consumers, like specific industries, energy intensive industries, and other consumers and C&I consumers, observing their consumption trends. If some startups can bring some insights that can be analyzed by DISCOMs to take preventive actions for electricity theft or better load forecasting, all these things. So through data analysis that can be done. And lastly, demand side management. So now emerging trends like smart grids and smart home automation, and nowadays each C&I consumer, commercial or industrial consumer, they are having their own portfolio for power consumption. They are having their own RE generation, or having open access agreements with the RE generators. So to optimize their power consumption, maybe startups can take a part and optimize their power consumption portfolio. So these are some potential intervention areas for the startups. So yeah, these are the trends in utilities being observed overall internationally and India. Yeah, coming from non-conventional energy sources to conventional and renewable energy source, we are shifting, wherein coal power plants are being replaced with RE and other storage aspects. Now in Andhra Pradesh, we are very much we have provided a lot of policy scope for storage. There is a huge scope of 34 gigawatt of pumped storage. Pumped storage is hydro power plant where it's a different type of hydro power station where water from the lower reservoir is being stored in the upper reservoir during non-peak hours, and then that can be used for power generation whenever power is required in the peak times. So for that pumped storage, we have huge potential, and recently we have launched integrated clean energy policy by the government of Andhra Pradesh, wherein we have given several incentives for the industries to set up RE projects, solar, wind, hybrid energy, and pumped storage. Yeah, there are some several market structures wherein even electric vehicles charging stations also a potential area. Now it is decentralized. You can easily get an access for the electric vehicle charging station wherever you want to set up. DISCOMs are mandated to give electricity connection within prescribed time period of less than 15 days and all. So EV charging stations also a potential opportunity for the startups. So now I'll just move to problem statements which was identified by APPDCL for the hackathon. So first one is we have for HT consumers we have around 7,000 odd modems which will communicate HT connection power consumption details such as voltage, load, and other power quality parameters continuously to the APPDCL servers. So what we are facing is sometimes they are interrupting and not being communicated to the corporate office. So we have an outage management system wherein these parameters and the history consumer data and being captured continuously, and based on this only we are submitting the information to the even higher officials as well. But this communication system hindrance is we have been facing. So for that, actually these modems have been installed by some type 2 OEM for the DISCOM. So what we are expecting from the startups is we wanted you guys to study the existing modems NIC card, network interface card, and rewrite the firmware, whatever the existing firmware is there, and modify the data acquisition software MQTT protocol. So if you can study the existing this NIC card and make changes and make it workable and communicating 24/7. This is what we are expecting from this statement. Second one is quality control. So APVTCL undertakes new projects to install new lines and substations. So wherein you might have seen like 33 by 11 kV lines in your village or your place. We have distribution transformer. From that 440 volts line will come, 3-phase 4-wire, and above that 11 kV line passes from substation. 11 kV line emanates from the substation, 33 kV line substation. So whenever it coming, we have many down points, twist points, all these things. Let's say I'm giving an example. When a new line erects, so for using for turning the line, we have to use disc insulator instead of pin insulator. So that is a mandate to have a proper balance in the line. So what happens is APVTCL gives this installation or erection contract to the subcontractors. So sometimes this quality management is compromised. So we have the problem statement is here is we have to identify such anomalies wherein whatever the deviations are there from the construction standards. We have specified some construction standards. Suppose in the substation some bus bar has to be laid like this, something like this, and then for the turning or twist points we have to use cross-arms of this length or this much of sag should be there. So some construction standards are there. So we have to identify the deviations made by the EPC contractors from the construction standards, and identify, and we have to the potential startup has to give the insights to the company. So this can be done. Maybe we are not just to give you an idea. Using drones, it can be done. This is a potential solution, but you can think of any other solution and come up with a solution. The third problem statement is in power distribution company there are several components like transformer, equipment, transformer, circuit breakers, power, high HT lines, LT lines, then bus bars in the and the substation, all equipment will be there. So many times there is no proper preventive maintenance for them. So what happens is sudden breakdown happens and then power interruption happens. So to avoid this, we have to identify the problem, breakdown before occurring it. So for that, field people, engineers, they take images and send it to corporate office. We have a set of photographs and all these things. So using image processing, if we can identify whether there may be a potential breakdown or this can cause a long-term breakdown, if we can identify such instances, that will be very helpful for reducing interruptions and increase consumer satisfaction. So using image processing, if we can get insights out of those captured images from the field engineers, that will be very useful for the company. So this is one of the problem statements. And next problem statement is open circuit faults. So in EPDCL we have many relays to identify the potential faults, short circuit faults and other faults. But coming to open circuit faults, when suppose it is a three-phase 11 kV system. Suppose this LG fault happened, and one line fall on the ground. If this ground has low resistance, then that is fine. Unbalanced current will flow, and then this neutral current will be detected by the relay. But sometimes what happens is this wire get cuts off, but didn't fall on the ground. That open circuit faults are being unable to detect by the relays. So what happens is that time, if some humans or cattle comes into contact with the line, they'll get electrocution and then died. So we have been facing such instances. Hence, but we have our existing relays have a provision for identifying such open circuit faults using unbalanced currents, wherein negative sequence current to the positive sequence ratio we have taken as a 56 DC ratio. But what happens is our relays are old age relays and then type 2 relays. They are unable to detect sometimes. So what we are expecting from this problem statement is, if someone can intervene. For the existing relays, if you can modify and bring up some solution to detect this open circuit fault, that is also welcome. Or if you can come up with any product that can any new sort of relay that can detect open circuit faults, that is also welcome. And next one is this is related to OCR. So for billing thing, we have billing collection agents. They'll go to each home and using the infrared IR port billing, they'll whenever they are getting into contact with the electricity meter, energy meter through IR port, so it will automatically get connected to the reading, and then they'll generate bill. But what happens sometimes is, if that IR port spot billing is machine doesn't work, then they will take a physical image of the meter reading. And what happens is, there's a lot of time consuming for identifying the meter reading in that photograph, and manually entering in the system and comparing with the last previous month bill, and comes up with the what is the number of units consumed. So to avoid this lengthy process and manual intervention, we wanted some solution for optical character recognition. Through field staff will send the images of such faulty meters, and then using those images, that meter reading and whatever the other information is there, the OCR should able to pick those information and give it to the system. So this is one of the problem statements. And next one is explosion of current transformers. So CTs, current transformers, are used for measurement of current for the in the distribution network. So sometimes currently conventional CTs are being used, wherein oil-cooled transformers are used. So sometimes they are blown up, and the spillage of oil leads to the medical emergency of the personnel working there, or other fire accidents and all. So we have did some retrofitting for the current transformers, but we are looking for some solution or tool which can avoid this. Even if it blows up, it shouldn't be damage the person working there or this thing. So for that, we are expecting some cost-effective retrofitting solution for CTs. And next problem statement is, so we have for the 33 kV or 11 kV lines, porcelain or other sort of polymer insulators currently being used. So whenever there is a fault occurred in the insulator, a breakdown of the insulator happens, it was very difficult to identify by the engineer exactly which insulator got affected and all. So for that we have to sectionalize each part and check each insulator whether it was failed or not. So it is a time consuming and mechanical process which delays power restoration for the consumers. So for that we are expecting some tool which can identify the insulator failures, especially during the night times. So yeah. These are the problem statements. Anyone, any questions or doubts? Okay. Ma'am, actually during night time you
No.
For the last problem, why are you looking at only during the night time?
ma'am, because more hassle this thing during night time, because in the morning time at least we could see insulators where some damage or broken insulator is there, we could identify. But in night time we have to sectionalize and then someone has to.
I mean, this can be a generalized.
Yeah, night time or generally anything is fine, but that we are facing more problem in night time.
And then, fourth one is
Open circuit faults. IR port image process. Current transform.
a porcelain insulators image. So the defective ones you said you
Do you
will
want
get
to
the
see
database.
images, ma'am?
Do one after the other problem? The questions?
Images we have. I will show the image. We have
I mean, how does the image data set?
sure, we have some thousands of images. I'll show you.
Okay,
Yeah.
can we go one after the other? First, do we any questions or
Yeah,
do easy?
one by one. I will.
Yeah. So first one, yeah, thank you. Okay, how much time do we have?
We have a few minutes.
Okay. So this issue,
Yeah.
no, that's okay.
Regarding-
Loud enough. The, one of the starting
We capture that voice in the.
We need to capture
Oh, okay.
People are watching.
So regarding the first problem,
Yeah, so this one we already have. Okay, before I go into the problem statement, thanks to APPDCL, thanks for working along with AHUB and Andhra University. Thanks for the opportunity. But trying to get into it, there are already startups that have started presenting solutions, which they have developed some alternate stuff because if you want to go for expansion. But with the modems, the problem is the current pin configuration to be able to flash the modem is an issue. Still, the architecture diagram or what within the modem to be able to go ahead and flash it is not available. So that was brought up with CMD Ravi last time. About last week we had a meeting. So that's one that is that's still pending from site so that they will be able to do this thing. Otherwise, all these things nothing can be done because unless you have the pin configuration, you will not be able to get into it and then flash it. Yeah. So that's any other questions on problem statement 1?
Anyone from the participating teams here? Anyone has picked up this problem statement? No. Any questions?
actually we did, but we were waiting for the response. I mean, we don't know whom to contact.
Sir, my number is there.
is there in the
roadside.
Okay.
We will have.
Because we were expecting the mail. We did not get, so we were waiting. Okay.
no, okay, just that is again.
The problem statements at the end has in the Alpo Partners website where you have the PDF, and the end has Ishwar's number as a contact, so you can directly WhatsApp him and then get the information.
Yeah, I did see, but basically I thought once we register, we get some acknowledgement based on which, because whether you apply or not, what is the registration number, I don't know. So
No, that's okay. That's my mistake. But once the last date is done, 15, because there are a lot of people just putting test and then registering. We don't want to send a response back by just for that sort of a thing. So we are filtering those things out. We have got more than about 55 odd people registering for different problem statements. So we will be sending the response back. Waiting for the last date to near and then send it out. That's the answer for that. Two is, as part of this, Endada substation has been given, a transformer has been given. Oh, that's for the next problem. Sure, I'm sorry.
So we will have a discussion. Second problem statement regarding
Not a question for you. For all of those who have registered, as soon as you register in a Google form, there is a response that you get saying that thank you for registering, and also please make a note of this link because this is where you need to submit your solution. And there is no mail that comes to you saying thank you for registering, welcome and all of that, because it's a lot of hassle. We have a small team that works on this, but that message, if you follow and you actually register, there is a response that immediately says you have been registered.
Yeah,
We've been doing.
That we got.
And yesterday, we were talking about Ishwar being here and requesting people to attend so that they can ask questions over here to everybody who registered and gave a valid email ID.
That's what I got. I came to that.
Yeah. So so if you have questions and you see a phone number, if you're not contacting that number when you're specifically being told that number, at least now you have an opportunity to talk to people here. Thank you.
regarding second problem statement, any queries?
Good evening, sir. And myself, Dr. GTL Priyanka. So we are from Vignan. Students also there. We are from Civil Department. So here you have mentioned about construction standards. What are those? May I know? We came late actually. I'm sorry for that.
No problem. So it is available on the website also. So
Okay.
construction standards are like for each equipment to erect, how to erect and what sort of quality parameters to be there, and standards, other standards such as SAG, how much SAG should be there, all these things will be there. But predominantly, what sort of rating should be there will be there in the construction standards, and other parameters, what I told is will be there. I mean, turning point, twisting points, what sort of insulators to be used, all these things. And any other we will provide the standard basic images, I mean reference images to which comparison to be done and identify the anomalies. We will provide the base images. So upon the base images, we will tell what sort of deviations to be identified. I mean, we have the data sets with us. We will share with you, and then based on that, if you have any questions.
Yeah, the data sets I think are there. Because we wanted only serious people, will go back and ask him about the data sets. So we're waiting for people to come back and ask if the data sets are there. So the data sets can be asked for. But I think, madam, this is a combination of not just only civil, which is the pit and the pit depth and the other stuff, the amount of material used, the mortar and other stuff, but there is also things like what you're talking about, twist turns and other stuff, the angles between two poles and all that stuff, so that the life of the conductors and all that stuff there are multiple things in that standard, because usually I think, if I'm right, this problem occurs usually when there is a catastrophe or some disaster and they want the lines to come up quickly, so they go without looking much into the standards, standard operation or the quality or manuals and adhering to those norms, they go ahead and quickly first erect the lines. But this problem will repeat next year if there is a flood again.
Yeah, for the quicker restoration after catastrophe like Hudud Tufan. So they have to restore the power immediately. There is a pressure. So they won't dig to the standard level, or they won't maintain the proper sag or turning or twisting movements. I mean, so they don't follow these standards in the urgency times. So that sort of, we will provide the data sets and other information. Anything else? Next one, image processing. Anyone working on this problem? Any questions?
So hello sir, I'm Shivam from Geetham University. I'm a CSE student. So my doubt is, in the dataset you provided, there are many segmentations on different things necessary. IP defects, cable defects, cross-arm defects. So there are 12 different types of defects and 3 different types of voltage levels. So should we focus on single or multiple defects, or every defect you provided, sir?
I mean, you can work on, for demonstration purpose, you can work on, as time permits, what are the suppose there are 12 types of defects you are saying. So there maybe you can work on some types of parameters which you can show, like you should extract the insights from the image process.
Yes.
There are base images you have to extract, like based on this image, using our model, we have extracted these insights that there is a problem or defect in this particular part of the image. If you can extract that and show the output for any type of number of types of problem set, that is fine for the prototype purpose.
Applying.
I think you have applied already, right?
Yes, already applied.
So to demonstrate the prototype is 24th. Yes, sir. Yeah.
24th of November.
No, from 15th. It's okay. Yeah, go ahead, Srinivas.
All the people who are participating need to submit a presentation and a 1-minute video of your solution or your planned solution by the 15th of November. Only after you submit that will the APPDCL team screen those solutions and call you for the top 25 teams are going to be invited for the finals on the 24th of November. For them to give to select the teams, because there are 25 teams that need to be selected, and we have at least 45 applications, 45 teams so far. We expect that that's going to go up to about 80 teams. Since that's happening, going through 80 teams and telling 25 teams to come is going to take time. And there are people who are going to be coming from all over the country. So therefore, we are giving a deadline about 8 to 9 days before the submission, before the actual finals of the hackathon, so that you submit your solution. That 1-minute presentation which explains your solution and a video which quickly does the same thing but shows your prototype would be ideal to help them understand.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that.
This was my what is the data set that you're going to what sort of images?
Ma'am, suppose a breaker is there, a breaker or a transformer or some bus bar line, where we are thinking of some potential problem is there, and they capture the image and will send, field team will send. So by identifying that, of course, we have, the model, AML model, we initially to be fed by the base images of ideal states, ideal instances or scenarios. So then it will compare with the
normal image.
Normal image.
This is just a mobile photograph that is taken by the lineman that has been fed into it.
Yeah.
So all these images are available. You have to compare with the normal and what are all the abnormalities. So the images what your data set also has is the abnormalities also.
Yeah.
So based on that, you should be able to read. And you you should be able to train the model to identify these abnormalities compared to the normal and then flag it off, alert it. I'm sorry? Yeah, but you'll have to find a way how do you compare with the normal versus abnormal. So you have to come with a model as to what is like. For example, if it's I think one flash which gives you burning this thing on the conductor. If it is a ceramic one, if it is non-ceramic, then it is a different thing.
They are mapped to the same equipment.
I'm sorry.
The photos before damage and after damage, they are mapped.
Yeah, base image we should give actually. I mean,
The
which,
actual-
to compare with the ideal case, yeah, base image should be given.
No, do you have the
From
data
the
set?
same location, it has to be taken.
At the
For
same
that,
location?
maybe similar equivalent thing will be but
No, madam. Usually it is not, because even if you're talking radiology and you're talking about radiation cases and all that, only you'll not always have the. No. I'm saying you will have to take it from any other standard image, saying that this is the standard for a similar specification, versus this is what is the defective stuff. So you have to do. It cannot be for the same thing, because you will not have a before and after of the same statement of like the.
For distribution transformers, it would be possible.
I'm sorry?
Of the similar rating, distribution transformers, it is possible.
Right.
What you are saying.
Excuse me, please, let's not descend into a conversation there, because those of us who are watching cannot understand what's going on here. So let's not have a conversation.
Yeah, the people all over India who are blocked in.
It's a discussion on the
Right, I know, so everybody should get the mic is my
Okay,
point.
yeah.
People should know what's going on.
Okay, we will define what is the standard agreed upon image versus what is the defective images. I think the data set currently has all the defective images, right? Yeah, not what is the standard normal operating this thing. So maybe we have to give that.
That we can provide, ma'am. I mean,
Yeah.
Compared to that, we will consider some base scenarios, ideal scenarios, and we will provide those images also. Okay, many other information we will see. Other than that base images, if you need any other particular images, we will try to get.
Yeah, again, base also it cannot be one. It has to be multiple. So
But
yeah.
various scenarios will have various.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm just moving to the next. Anyone else? Yeah. So, open circuit faults.
Sir, in the problem statement, it was asked to detect the open circuit faults. So, is the electrical department asking us to see the scenario in which there was an open circuit fault happened along the bus bar, or is it really asking us to locate the location at which the open circuit fault was happened, so that the department
Yeah, understood your problem. So whether to isolate the network or to identify the location of the problem.
location at which the fault happened.
Okay. So our ask was to isolate the line. That is the ask. If you can identify, it is a cherry on the cake. Additional inside your.
Yeah. So if it was to break or isolate the bus bar, then the only option
That is our ask to isolate the system. That's it.
The
To
only
isolate.
option that left for us to work on is obviously relays.
Yeah, you have to make a new relay to detect the open circuit fault.
Sir, the conclusion we arrived at was the open circuit fault currents were too small to be detected by the conventional relays which are currently using.
Yes.
So we are thinking to redesign or additionally using some solid state relays with some high sensitivities. So hopefully we can have some possibility to see or watch or observe the designs, the breakers of the relays.
You want to come and see the breakers?
Yes,
Yeah, you can come. You can come and we will show some.
We have the provision to. We have the provision to watch the relays design. It will be helpful.
Design means we will show the existing relays. The configuration, design we cannot show. We can give you a model relay or we can show the relay.
Model relay,
Make and model of the
That is there in the database model make things we have given. And you want to see the relay also existing, you can come and see.
And can I I know the ratings on which we are going to work on it? Is it the transmission line or distribution line?
This is distribution line.
That's for distribution.
Yeah, distribution line. This is distribution company for distribution line.
Ratings of the
33 kV to below. 33 kV line and below 11 kV or 440 volts. Majorly 11 kV and 33 kV.
Are you people expecting us to change the existing relay, modify it to get the better outcomes of, to detect those small currents and the open circuit? Like, you people didn't ask us to find the location and all, right?
No. We didn't
You
ask.
just want us to,
Act the relay.
yes, activate the
Activate the
yeah.
relay upon the open circuit.
So you want us to modify the existing relay?
Two things, two options.
Yeah.
One is you can modify the existing relay to work on for this open circuit faults, or you can come up with new relay which can identify the open circuit.
You guys don't want us to prepare any kind of IoT device or no, you don't want us to
Use anything. You can use anything, but I want a relay to isolate the fault.
See, they want a solution. How you approach the solution? Of course, there will be a cost analytics to it as to how you can do. I'll fly a drone. I'll do what. I don't care. What is the solution? Cost effectiveness, ease of implementation, maintenance is all these things that are criteria. Now, somebody says not only that, I will use some other method. Maybe I'll send us sound signal, sonic waves, and then I'll identify where exactly, because that's also a problem. Because they want to know where exactly there is a fault. So because that whole thing could be running into kilometers, and finding the exact point of this thing is today to a certain proximity, but late in the middle of the night and all that stuff. If you give the exact location, that will be an added advantage. That's the startup that could get picked up for one is the price and also being given an order to execute. So that's the thing. As simple as finally it's a competition. So whoever comes with the best solution will be picked up.
So we can provide you the existing relays to modify. If you want to modify the existing relay, we can.
Can we get the existing relay?
Yeah. So you can make a provision in the existing relay, or you can come up with new.
Just that you have to be that extra, a little bit inquisitive and some sort of work from your end. Like there are already 2 or 3 starters that are there. One is working in Endada substation for a transformer, complete the first problem, right? The modem, and if not, they also have developed a device. They put it on the Endada transformer and they're monitoring that, and they're coming with live data on the date of when the 24th, when this thing, if they are in the top 25. So you can, they're always open. We went, they've taken us to, even there was some problem related to yards, so Simachalam yards. So they were so forthcoming in taking you and even allocating you stay in substation if you want to work on a problem live at the location. So there is no this thing. It's only an interest and your passion to, or some initiative from your end to go and then work with them.
So whatever the information you want or any assistance, you can call us, reach out. We will provide. Even if we don't have the data set, we will make it and available it for you.
We are rapidly running out of time, and I know you have a lot of other questions. Ishwar is available. Ishwar is available. I mean, we have 5 more minutes to go before we stop the presentation.
If you have any questions, you can ask, irrespective of the problems.
Any other questions?
चले This is a 11 kV line. The accident occurred in Anantapur district. Conductor got snapped because a squirrel climbed cross arm. Wire snapped because of the short circuit. Squirrel tried to climb this one. So it got shorted. This incident with the rain got shorted. And the conductor snapped. The balance line is hanging in the air. So an auto with people traveling in the auto with a cage, what we call a poultry cage. Exactly. Where they keep hens and other pigs. That cage is also there on the top of the auto. With that they are traveling. That wire fell on the auto. Somebody got down. So immediately current passed through that person. The entire auto people died. It happened some 3 years back in Anantapur. So because of that, this problem came up for discussion in many forums. So they are asking for a solution of typical nature.
Please ask any specific questions are there. Even you can contact me later also if you have any questions or data required.
Can you just put up your number or something? Spell out your number. Okay, please reach out to him on WhatsApp and then take a time because there will be decent hundreds. Also there as part of the problem statement, the PDF that is given.
Construction specification
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry?
Can I?
Yeah, you will get your time.
No, related to this, only 1 minute.
Okay.
If there's, I'm sorry.
No,
Or I will drop it. No, yeah, 1 minute. Nothing
But see, then you should realize that if we start doing something and we provide them solutions, the CMD, Vivitej, he's Himali. So he's from IIT Bombay. He's not, you're not dealing with people don't think public sector, they're very knowledgeable people who have been in there. So one is, please go on the field. When you're trying to do solutions, don't imagine certain things sitting in your lab, in your classroom or wherever and then come up with it. Please go to the field, then you will have something which is near to the reality. Two is, if the solutions and everything is very right, he's going to give another at least 3 problem statements. Last time we had this discussion, which is for research purposes. He wants people, students who can work on it. He will fund the research, pay the person for the next 1 or 2 years because lot amount of data sets and he wants to bring him a lot of this thing. So he himself is writing down these 3 research areas. He wants to now get into research based on, this is not one-time problem solving but also research. So there are tons of opportunities. You want to add that? Yeah.
So currently we are doing one a similar sort of not technical problem statement, but we are working on data analytics part with DAU, Department of Finance, Government of Andhra Pradesh, where they are solving data analytics related problems of JPPDs here. So if students can come up with AML tools or data analytics for identifying these consumer patterns or anomalies, data, power theft based on the past month's consumption, all these things, that will be very helpful. If you have any such innovative idea for data, regarding data analytics especially, you can come up with it. come up with that, and we can showcase it to CMD sir. Definitely it will be considered. Apart from these problem sets,
Thank you. Thank you, Ishwar, for such an extensive presentation. If you did not, if you didn't register yet or you didn't know about this, you're looking at a maximum of 2.5 lakhs. That's the first prize. Total prize money of 6 lakhs just for this hackathon. And on top of that, you'll get contracts if your solution is picked. That can be worth crores. Is what I get.
Yes.
So take this seriously. This is not some competition that you do overnight and put something in an assignment. That's not the nature.
And if they're all good, we help even create a startup.
Yeah, of course, we are startup incubator, right? So if you're ready to start the company and if they're taking your solution on, you'll be incubating at our hub. So
right from formation of the company.
yeah, all the support that an incubator will give you. So take this seriously. Please engage. Go to Ishwar. He's available. He's willing to give you all kinds of information. Thank you, Ishwar, for that excellent presentation. Thank you very much. Now that we are closing in, it is 5:17. 5:17. So we don't have much time for pitches. Somebody just set a presentation for an open mic, but we don't do presentations during open mic. So sorry about that. So there are a few announcements. Let me open this.
Probably give them a chance to
For?
speak without the presentation for 2 minutes.
Speak without the presentation. Okay, 2 minutes is what they're saying. Who's that wanted to present? Open mic. Raise your hand. Okay, 2 minutes. And there is no restriction on language. If you're more comfortable in Telugu, please do that.
Hello everyone. Actually, I am presently working on a research project, digital twin and the cyber physical system on fault detection in power system. Basically, I am working for laboratory scale only. I am not thinking about industry level. But what are the journals or research papers are saying about that? There is a good enhancement if we use AI and ML in this power system to the traditional what we have doing in regular power system. So still research is going on. Some test cases is successful. That's what my. So I am planning for expansion to industry level. I am asking any suggestions from you guys. Actually, I am working on a 3-bus system, sir. 3-bus system as a test case. Yes, sir, bus parts. So I would like to build 3-bus system for laboratory purpose. I mean, I can't able to generate. Yes, sir. Presently, I am taking bus part as test case, sir. Later, I would like to implement to transmission lines and other kind of faults. Sir, like how can I build a 3-bus system for laboratory? Because in 3-bus system there is a generator and 3 transmission lines and 2 loads, sir. So I mean.
Okay, let's take this conversation after. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
A few announcements before we close the session. Most of you are familiar with Institutions Innovation Council. Yes? Every college should have one. If you don't have one, you should have one. Institution Innovation Council is set up to promote entrepreneurship and innovation among students and faculty on your campus. There are a few AU students here, so you're familiar with the AU IIC. A lot of those activities we've been doing at our hub. Startup Saturdays, which happens every first and third Saturday, we've been doing this. If you notice the first slide, you will see IIC logos here. the bottom logo banner has IIC logos. So we upload these to IIC website at the end of the year. I'm telling you all that because we are just transitioning from in our leadership. Professor Purushottam, who was the president of AU IIC, left AU, and now we have Professor Raju from Chemical Engineering Department, who is taking over as the president of our IIC. We're very glad to have him. We're looking forward to working with him. We already spoke a lot about IIC, so new changes are coming, and we're excited about it. Thank you, Professor Raju, for accepting the challenge. HackIP Hackathon deadline for registration is by 9 p.m. on November 13th. Don't miss the deadline. You're throwing away a chance to win pretty big money if you miss the deadline because you're late or you fell asleep. So, 9 p.m. Registered teams must submit their entries by 15th November. They will be screened and only the best 25 entries will be invited to participate in the final on November 24th. Our launch and level up workshop series, some of you are familiar with, will start again January 2025 or 25. 24. We concluded that on a high note in 24. We had a series of 8 workshops. We are compressing that into 6 workshops starting in January. So we are still debating on the formats and all the details, but that is coming up. They won't be free. They will be paid, but it won't be that expensive and it won't be unaffordable for most of you. So then Hulk Prize. Last year we had terrific Hulk Prize season on campus. We had an excellent team and they did a great job. We had one team, I think, one team only can go beyond to the regionals. So that team was selected and they participated online, I think, in the Mumbai Circle or Hong Kong Circle. I don't know, Mumbai Circle, I think. Anyway, this year they're starting up again. The finals will be sometime in February. So there's a lot of organization happening. AHAB, of course, supported last year and we will definitely support it this year. We're excited about Hulk Prize happening here. They contribute a lot to the campus culture of innovation and entrepreneurship. We have a few announcements from TIE. TIE is our...
What is Hulk Prize? United Nations $1 Million Prize.
Yeah, they're... okay, I don't know a lot of details about Hulk Prize, but I know it is... United Nations is involved this time. Even last time, I think they focused on Sustainable Development Goals. SDGs. So, social enterprises, sustainable development goals.
Top 30 go for an acceleration program in London and the winner gets $1 million.
Winner gets $1 million. We had a team from AU who
went to London.
Went to London. They didn't get the final one, but they went to London and incubated for
They
6.
built their MVP and they sold the company.
Yeah, they built. That's an interesting story. College law students, right? Law students
in
built
IoT and marine technology.
Yeah. So interesting story there. Hulk Prize is something that you want to participate with. TIE is our long-standing partner. We work very closely with them. They have a bunch of announcements, so I asked Srinivas to share all the announcements from TIE because my list is just growing longer and longer with TIE announcements. So I thought it's easier for him to announce.
I didn't want Devakar to hog the mic, but today he wasn't hogging the mic, so I'm stepping in even though he wasn't. For those of you who are not aware of TIE, we have a TIE Vizag chapter. TIE, really? Okay. TIE is an organization for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs, a non-profit organization for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs. Thanks to Ravi being the president of TIE Vizag chapter, we have been able to collaborate on a lot of activities with AHAB. And so there is a TIE Youth program, there is a TIE Women program, there is a TYE, TIE Young Entrepreneurs program. We've been conducting hackathons. HackIP was one of them. Ideathons, workshops, the launch and level up that we talked about. And next year we're going to be starting with demo days once a quarter. As of now, Ravi does not know about it, but now we're breaking it to him. Regarding TIE Young Entrepreneurs, it's a program for high school students from 9th to 12th. That they're introduced to the idea, the concepts of entrepreneurship. We have a batch coming up, actually 2 batches, morning and afternoon, on the 9th of November. So, for some of you who might have brothers, sisters, cousins, nephews, nieces who who might be interested in this is something for them. Then the TIE U program, Andhra University is a member of TIE as an institutional member along with a few other institutions. Geetham, VIT-AP, IIAM as well as RVR and JCE College. Ravi is going to next week come back with 4 more institutions that he's going to make as members. And as a member of TIE, 10 students of Andhra University get free membership to the programs, including the workshops that Divakar just mentioned. So if you're nice to Divakar and Ravi, and if you plead with them, you could get that free entry rather than pay the money for it.
Help at AHAP and go attend that.
Yeah.
The intern at AHAP can attend.
Yeah, so you could become an intern at AHAP, do some work, and in exchange for your labor, you can get to attend a wonderful program, barter system, without any money out of your pocket. The big thing that I wanted to talk about was this, TIE, there is something called a TIE Global Summit that happens across the, once a year. Entrepreneurs from all over the globe converge in one place, like many other events, but here this is one where once a year an event, this summit happens in different places across the world. It was held in New Delhi, then it was in Dubai, then it was in Hyderabad in 2022, 23 it was in Singapore, and now in 2024 it's happening in Bangalore. They are calling it the Olympics of entrepreneurship, and they have a good 4-day program, 3 days, 9th, 10th and 11th in Bangalore, and 1 day in Mysore, with a huge opening and a huge closing. This is in collaboration with the government of Karnataka. They're expecting 25,000 people to be attending, mostly entrepreneurs and startups, of course. There is a talk of obviously government officials will be attending, but there is a talk of the nation's leader also has been invited and may be there. There is no confirmation yet, but the big name that got announced is Andre Agassi. If you know tennis,
from a tennis veteran, but
he's
Kalari Capital.
Yeah, there are a lot of venture capital accelerators and all of that to attend. So it would be a
CMD of NVIDIA, Lido, all these guys already. Yeah, so yeah, go ahead.
I should have partnered with them to talk about it. So, yeah, there is an undergraduate and a postgraduate opportunity for undergraduates and postgraduates from any of the partner institutions of TIE. So if any of your other university students would like to attend, once again, please be nice to Divakar and Ravi, and you might get an opportunity to attend. There is a fee for it though, but it would be fantastic value for you. There's an international hackathon that's, I believe the deadline ended day before yesterday, with 1,000 plus entries across the globe. That will be happening very soon as a part of the TIE. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, just get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Srinivas. So our next Startup Saturday session will be on November 16th, 2 weeks from now. Get busy with your hackathon entries. In half an hour we'll have been there, done that, a conversation I have every first and third Saturday at 6 o'clock. Today we'll be speaking with Mr. Bolisetti Satyanarayana. Some of you may know him. He is the General Secretary of Janasena Party. This will be my first time hosting a politician, and the discussion will be about clean politics. He claims that he has been pursuing clean politics for 4 decades now. He's also known for his environmental activism. He's gung-ho about cleaning up Vizag in many ways, so it should be very interesting. So join us at 6 p.m. say right here in this room. Thank you all for a wonderful session. Let's all gather together for a picture here. Thank you. Oh, I was supposed to show these. Okay. Please come on up, and as you're coming up, if you have any feedback,